Hello there, and welcome to Inspire Insight, a podcast dedicated to navigate and sustain you in this journey we call life, with your host, Mr. T, coming to you every week with various topics to inspire you as you take on each day. Basically, this is supposed to be the voice in your head that can be heard. And remember to subscribe and follow our channels and share the links with your friends, families, and even your enemies. You ready? Let's go. So, apologies for not bringing you your newest favorite podcast last week. We will try our best to make amends in the coming weeks. But for today, we will be going a bit deeper into our life's reflection and explore a topic that I believe might be the first time most of you are hearing it. This topic will help you try to make sense of some aspect of your lives and why things are to be done in a particular way. I'm talking to you today about consideration. Yes, consideration. So, what is consideration? It refers to the act of thinking carefully about something before making a decision or forming an opinion. It basically involves taking various factors into account and reflecting on them. Also, if I'm supposed to go into the legal terminology or the legal context, in contract law, consideration is something of value that is exchanged between parties to a contract. I'm not going to talk about law today, so don't worry. Consideration also can refer to the quality of being thoughtful and attentive to the needs of and feelings of others. Yeah, when you consider people in that sense, it implies a sense of empathy and kindness in one's action and decisions. However, in a broader sense, I will say consideration can mean a factor or aspect that is taken into account when making decisions or judgment. So, what has this got to do with our lives? Everyone was born as an individual into a family or community and developed to be dependent on this environment. And as the years went by, it switched for some, and those who we depended on, now they depend on us. This cycle in life that we all agree to, yeah. But the measure of dependencies can be a bit relative. But have you stopped and wondered that we are not of our own, no matter how individualistic we turn out to be? Yes, life is not all about you. When you were born, there was an alignment in place for your destiny to be linked to others. Yeah. These others, some were not even born. Those who were born were nowhere close to you, for that matter. So basically, you didn't know them. But as you grew, you met some along the way. Some were helpers, some distractions, some mentors, and even some became family. All these people were placed in your life to align with your destiny from the very beginning. Now, with this understanding, you will now discover that every single decision or action that we have taken would have a link into our destiny alignment, as in who comes in your life, at which point in time. These decisions that we make or these actions that we take has got a connection or a link to these things. An example, if someone plays a major role in your life now, if the person years back decided to take a particular decision or action, whether wrong or right, and based on that decision had a different turnout in life and you didn't cross path, assess what your life would have been and assess what basically you would have missed if you didn't cross path with that person who is playing that major role in your life now. Similarly, we have people in our lives who we play a major role in their lives. So once again, imagine if some time past we took a decision or an action that placed us on a different path and we never met these people. Every single decision or action we decide to take in our lives is connected to other people who we have met in some cases and some we are yet to meet. Hence the reason for consideration. It is not about us. No matter how hard it is to hear this, our life is not entirely about us. Your action and decision you take can affect others and even a whole generation on its own. Some of you met people who were not even born when you were growing up, and you or they have played a major role in your life. it being career or personal. So once again, imagine the decisions that you took to meet these people. Everything is connected based on the considerations that we put in place before we took these decisions. Consideration is asking yourself that question, that simple question. The action or decision you want to take, how will it affect others in the future? So most often we don't value consideration because it is more futuristic, spanning across 5 to 20 years plus before we realize the cause of our actions or decisions. However, if we pay much attention to consideration, it will shape our life choices and actions we take, knowing that it's not all about us. So the decision that you are taking today in the next 5-10 years will have an impact on other people. So you need to consider and put certain factors in place before you take that particular decision, whether it's current or in the near future decision you'll be making. This has to do with consideration. So consideration, in my view, would be the quality of being thoughtful and attentive, thinking carefully about something before making a decision, knowing that it is not all about you, or knowing that it's not about you only. And there are people who are tied to your destiny, whether they are helpers or whether you help them. It's not all about you, but people are tied to that destiny. So now, I want you to think about the choices and decisions that you've made and where you are, and the impact you've had on people or they have had on you, and ask yourself, was there any consideration done? You could apply this in your personal life when you do this reflection, or you could even apply this in your career, because some of you were supposed to enter a particular field, but now you are in a different field altogether. What impact are you having there? If you chose that initial field, what would have been the outcome of that? Would you have been where you are? Would the people who look up to you, would they be there, or would it be a different story altogether? This is consideration. Thinking about others before you act or before you take a decision. Remember, it is not all about us. It's a journey, and we need people for this journey. Many thanks to you, our cherished listeners, once again. As always, we have another insightful episode coming in next week. This was a brief one, but quite deep, and is more a reflective one. I want you to take your time and think about it. So stay tuned, and until then, I have been your favorite host, or your newest favorite host, Mr. T. Thank you, and have a great week.